Happy Monday, and welcome to Perspective Matters. I am Devon Lewis-Buchanan with Inspire Youths, and you're tuning in to another week of perspective. This week, we're going to be touching on the topic of mastering your insecurities. This is huge. This is something definitely in the direction of self-development, and this definitely takes time. This is something that is not easy. But before I even go further, some of you are already wondering, how do you master your insecurities? Before we even start, let's address insecurities. What are insecurities? Insecurities are uncertainties, anxiety, or in a nutshell, a lack of confidence. So when I say to master your insecurities, that means you're mastering something that you don't feel confident about. And I think this is so powerful for not only young people, but also adults, everybody, because we all have things that we're not very comfortable about. And oftentimes we wind up not showing people or putting forth a complete effort or showing people who we actually are because of our insecurities. Or sometimes we don't get an opportunity to even show who we really are because our insecurities hold us back. So to give you an example of basically an insecurity, I'm going to give you an example for me. When I was growing up, I went to Roosevelt Middle School, and at that middle school, before the bells rang every morning, we would meet up in the hallway, and we would crack jokes. We'll make fun of each other or whatever, but it would just be like a group circle. And this is how insecurities work. Sometimes you never notice your insecurities until somebody points them out. So as we're sitting here in this joke, I was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty good. I get you. But it wasn't until somebody pointed out something about me that I really even took notice. I remember we were joking and somebody made a joke about, man, your teeth look like broken piano keys. And I was like, what? And then everybody started laughing. And I just remember that night going into the bathroom and just like looking, and I was like, oh, my teeth are crooked at the bottom. And I've looked at myself every morning, brushing my teeth, but I had never noticed it until somebody pointed it out. And I could tell you how insecurities sometimes build bad habits. So because somebody pointed this out to me in the 7th grade, I began to mumble when I spoke. I began to kind of talk without moving my mouth. So I would, or whatever, because I didn't want to show my teeth. So that became a habit that stuck with me for a long time, and I still mumble to this day. And it's not because I'm insecure anymore, because I created a bad habit because of being insecure. So now I have developed to that point where I'm fine with me, every part of me, and that's not because I'm better than or anything, but I've learned to live with me. So I think for a lot of young people out there, of course, there are going to be things or flaws or ways that people like to call it flaws, but my thing is, it's you, accept it. So one thing that definitely comes into play when you want to say you're mastering your insecurities is confrontation. Now, I don't mean like confronting the person who's making fun of you. No, I'm not saying physically. No, it's confronting yourself. Because we often get taught that, we have to retreat from our problems, that we, all right, it'll go. No, sometimes you have to face what you're going through head on. So you have to meet what, you're insecure about, whether it's weight, whether it's your learning ability, whatever it is, because we all have something that we just don't fully embrace and love about ourselves. But that also sets you up to, if you can embrace the things that you don't even, aren't fully confident about, imagine what that would do for the things that you really love. Like if you can set the tempo with falling in love with the parts of you that, you don't feel as acceptable, you will love the other parts of you. It'll develop into so much that you become, in your mind, a commodity, one for yourself. And, for a lot of people, we have to turn sometimes our flaws or our insecurities into strengths and assets. Like I'm giving you an example now. I'm using my insecurities right now to help others. You see what I'm saying? Because normally, if I was to sit here and tell you how perfect my life was, I wouldn't be able to reach out to someone who's going through something. But I'm going to tell you stuff about me that, like I said, I can't change. I can't, unless I, magically get some miraculous, real, like, expensive dental stuff, in the future to come or whatever. But to me, it doesn't bother me. I wouldn't even go and address it because right now I'm fine with it. I'm fine with me. I've lived with, you know, my teeth not being perfect for this many years. At this point, all right, you know. So if also adapt the philosophy of, if you can't, or if you don't like it, change it. And if you can't change it, accept it. Period. There's going to be things about you that you can't change. All right. Some people don't. Most recently, I'll give you an example. There's been big controversy, I believe, with Kodak Black, talking about skin color. Nobody can change their skin color unless you want to bleach and stuff like that. But does it have to go to that extreme because you're not comfortable in your own skin? Like, that's where we've come. So embrace who you are. You were given these traits for a reason. Embrace it. Love it. That's your identity. This is who you are. You can't change some of that stuff. You can't change your DNA, your genetics, all that stuff. You can't change. Accept that. You know, but if it's things that you can change, say it's weight, or the way you think about certain situations, or, you know, things that you can actually, you know, get to the bottom to and change, then attack those things. Like, address them. And another thing about insecurities is sometimes people will place their insecurities on you. And to give you an example, sometimes you may be saying something, and it's funny, I was talking to my mother about this, and my mom, she has 6 kids. All right, so as we were growing up, she was hearing things such as people coming to her and be like, how are you going to pay for college for all these kids? And it wasn't my mom worrying about this stuff. It was other people worrying about this for her, because really what they were saying was, if I was in your situation, I wouldn't be able to do it. My mom, like I said, told us at a young age, she said that I don't have college funds for any of you. You guys have to have scholarships if you want to go to college. It's 6 of us. The first 4 have all graduated high school. We all have scholarships coming out of high school. The next 2 are on their way to 9th grade, and trust me, I'm not worried about them one bit about getting a scholarship. So it's also, for some people, they create insecurities in their own mind. My mom could have sat there and embraced what the lady was saying, but in her mind, that wasn't her burden to carry. That was just somebody projecting their insecurities on her. And a lot of times that's what happens when we're around, you know, friends, family. Sometimes people can't see themselves doing something, so they tell you that, well, you won't be able to do it. And at the end of the day, you either accept it and embrace it, or you just let it roll off the back, because it's not yours. You don't have to carry that if you don't want to. But understand that projection is sometimes how insecurities begin. Somebody projecting what they feel inside to you, and then you accept it, and then now you carry it. So that's just what I wanted to touch on today. Definitely, like I said, mastering your insecurities. This sets you up to become great. And I'm not talking about just about anything specific, but to be great to yourself. You owe it to yourself to be the best you possible. So that is my time. To my community out there of inspiring youths, to everybody out there that is, you know, willing to partner and collaborate, I really appreciate it. This is actually our first week. We just launched July 1st, so this is our first week actually as a real organization. But I'm so happy for the progress. I'm so happy for the opportunities to come. And please stay tuned. And if you are willing and wanting to partner and become a part of our mentoring program, Extend a Hand, please log on to our website, www.inspireyouths.com, and click on the tab Extend a Hand. That's my time. I appreciate you guys. Please inspire.